You guys know I love this time of the year because it reminds me of Matthew Doyle Perez. It's somewhere in between St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo. He's half Irish, half Mexican.
Yeah.
All right. Sam Berry is here. Give it up to Sam Berry. Sam Berry, he got here promptly at 7:45, but his head arrived 2 minutes earlier. That's a big melon, ladies and gentlemen. Big melon. All right. Naboo is here. Someone please tell her. All right. And what else we got? Oh, if Mr. Eddie is here, who's randomly being harassed by the cops while they're driving? All right. Our friend Ilongo is here. I don't know if you guys knew this. Ilongo, he's a family man. He's a hardworking guy, and he practices jiu-jitsu. I think he picked up jiu-jitsu on the rowboat over here with that tiger. Life of pie. Anyway. All right. Moving on in. Let's go. We're going to get our first roaster up here. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a Glenwood favorite, Mr. Sam Berry.
Thank you. It is good to be here. I finally can talk shit about all of you to your faces instead of behind your backs, like as it should be done. Alrighty. Alright, first things first, Naboo. Naboo is the real life Miss Krabappel. The Simpsons? You know the teacher smoking a cigarette? She goes, ah! Yeah? Well, Miss Krabappel, if she had brain damage, so her laugh would be more like, Nelson. Sorry, I'm sorry. Boo! Hey, Naboo backwards is Uber, which is her competitor for Uber. It's true. I like to think that when Naboo runs her car service, in the back seat there's complimentary Ken dolls to play with. Unlimited stale snacks. And child lock is always on. MTP, Matthew Doyle Perez. Give it up for Matthew, folks. And good too. Give it up for both of them. Man, I like your initials. I like them. MGP. What can I say about that? Your initials sound like a broke porn star. Right? Like porn star with no money. Like you can keep a job going, let alone a handy one. Perez wishes he looked more Mexican so the government would pay him a stimulus check for being a homeless migrant. That's pretty good, right? Alright, thank you. Yeah, Matt, you look like Oscar the Grouch didn't realize his comedy sucked. That's pretty. Thank you. Yeah, you trash and you eat trash. In fact, I caught Matt eating a nice dinner behind Whole Foods dumpster. Yeah. Alright. Fair. The man has good taste. And right by the dumpster was Mr. Eddie getting blown by a homeless man. Give it up for Mr. Eddie. Yeah. That homeless guy was actually mad. Put it in double time. Yeah, Mr. Eddie's a sick fuck. He's in social services, and some of those people, they hit their clients, or maybe they abuse them. You know what Mr. Eddie does? He tells them his jokes. Can you believe that? You believe that shit? I mean, what kind of fucked up, demented person? Alright. I wore this, oh wait, Alongo. I fucking, last minute, I almost forgot you, man. I forgot you. Your name is forgettable. You're like Alongo. It's like a bongo with no rhythm. Alongo, you remind me of like Aziz Ansari raped an NPC, and then that baby was raised by Amy Schumer. I just came up with that one, so forgive me. That was on the way here. That's true. She likes you small. Hey. Moving on to the main entree. Layne, give it up for Layne, folks. Give it up for Layne, folks. What an amazing, beautiful person. All right, now let me move into the mean stuff. Layne, thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you, man. On the surface, Layne looks cold, dead, and intimidating. But I assure you, on the inside, it's much worse. much worse. Layne hugs me every time I see him. And I love it because it reminds me of all the attention I didn't get from my dad. But it reminds me of all the attention I did get from my uncle. That's fair, right? That's fair. That's fair. It's a tight hug that keeps you locked in. Oh man, I'm sweating from that one. I'm going to regret that later. Jesus Christ. Layne is either a serial killer or a child molester, and that's why he rocks the goatee. Cover all of his bases. Layne has the heart of the lion and probably the heart of his neighbor somewhere in his basement. Layne looks like the first dude to bid on George Zimmerman's gun. Thank you. Hey, calm down. Layne, if you don't make it in stand-up, you can recycle your material for the Fourth Reich. You're listening to a white supremacist? Come on. All right, whatever. It's a euphemism. All right, I'm going to end on this one, folks. I got a little something for Layne tonight. I got a little something for you, bud. Hold on. So Layne actually had a black hoodie that he would always used to wear a lot. I don't know what happened to it. But I just want to say, my last joke, I'm going to end on this. What does Layne and Little Orphan Annie have in common?
What?
Terrible fashion. That's why I got you a new sweater, Layne. Hey! And it says Canadian in Chiefs.
He said it's brand new.
That's so touching.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
All right, Sam Barry. Talking about dads and stuff. Layne is the epitome of the term like father, like son. His dad was cremated last week and he's getting roasted tonight. Hey! Open the floodgates, ladies and gentlemen. All right, our next comedian, very funny man. Got him on one of my shows coming up, or else he wouldn't be on the show if he wasn't funny. Let's give it up for Mr. Ilando!
Give it up for Ron for setting off this roast, everyone! Hey, Sam. It's great to see you, man. How are you, huh? You good? Yeah? Because you're like a walking, talking emoji, you know? You're like a woodpecker with PTSD, you know? Sorry, let me edit that. You're the woodpecker, but your now ex-girlfriend got PTSD. And now for the grimy pimp of the hour. Hi, I'm Layne. Layne, go away. Come again when you're funnier someday. I want to address something terrible that has happened though in April. Something terrible happened in April. April 2002. The front man for Alice in Chains, Layne Staley, he overdosed. He died in Seattle after doing a speedball, which is like heroin and cocaine, and they didn't find his body for 2 weeks. By the time they found him, he weighed less than 80 pounds. Kind of like Layne Sr. Yeah. So moving on then. Layne, I'm told that you're a Navy veteran, right? That's right. Give it up to our veterans here. You know? We gotta respect our military. Now it takes a lot to be in the military. You gotta have brains and brawn. But Layne is so fucking dumb that he had to get Naboo to complete the ASVAB for him. The ASVAB, it's the entrance exam for the Navy. He needed someone of your shimmering intellect to get in. Yeah, you know, but let me have to explain it 6 more times and with some cliff notes. Right? But it's not just about the brains though, it's about the brawn. Because Layne, you weren't a Navy pilot, were you? And you certainly weren't a Navy SEAL. I mean, you're like a SEAL in that the way you would do push-ups, you would just be belly flopping on the ground like a walrus. I mean, look at you, man. I'm a fucking immigrant from a third world country. How do I have a better body than you? Huh? Seriously, I don't understand that. Like, you're like the walking embodiment of a Punisher sticker on a Prius. You're not fooling anyone, man. Seriously. And I gotta ask, so right before this roast started, Layne came up to me, he's like, what are you even doing here? And I go, same thing you were doing at Big Black Comedy recently, being the diversity comic, right? Like, you bribed a producer to get on that show just so you could say the N-word, but I realize now that you were on that show to show the entire Chicago community scene how not black Eddie is. Right? I mean, Layne, you are to black people what Edward Norton was to black people. You Tubi, low-rent, American History X motherfucker. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is Layne, and this is Layne, and this is Layne, and see Kyle Layne. And thank you for reinvigorating, oh, I almost said that word there, the Glenwood. We fucking love you, man. We love being here on Tuesdays.
All right, Elongo and his taxes, ladies and gentlemen. So Layne's better half, Cindy, is here with us tonight. A lot of you guys don't know this. They have a cat named Butter that they've had for 2 years. The surprising part isn't that Layne is a cat person. It's the fact that this cat has survived 2 years living in a house with an Asian person.
Oh my God.
All right. My wife's not here to mute me, so. That was good. All right. Coming to the stage, the queen of the Glenwood mic herself. Let's give it up for the Naboo.
It's all about me. It's all about me. Yeah. Hey, Layne. This is just like at the Red Room.
Oh.
Huh? Yeah. I have a present for you before I start. Oh, God damn it. Woo! Look at this thing!
What is that?
This is the
Nice
fucking
to meet you. This is what I put together. Look at his face. Please give it to him.
God damn it. Yeah, for those of you who don't know me, I'm the Naboo. I'm the most unemployable motherfucker up in this bitch. I'm so unemployable that I had that ham donated to me for Christmas. It's just been sitting in my freezer. I'm like, that's some Sonia Bologna. Well, here I am now, I guess the leader of the Glenwood. Thank you, Anthony, for being the starter of that. We have to acknowledge Anthony. Let's give it up for Anthony. I gotta tell you, I knew that I wanted this place the second I came. And let me tell you, it was the least hostile takeover ever. Damn, Layne Johnson is he's so passive about this shit that he has to, oh gosh, he's so bad at his job, he hired a retard for his replacement. And in that vein, not all men, but probably Layne Johnson. Layne calls himself an ally so much, I'm shocked no one has come forward yet. Oh, God. Layne Johnson looks like he was supposed to participate in Columbine, but just wasn't feeling it. Layne Johnson looks like he's auditioning for the role of racist uncle. Along the same vein as that. But, oh, here's a real special one for you, Layne. Layne Johnson is so white trash.
How white trash is he?
Life gave him corn syrup and he made Faygo. Woo woo! Homies to my dog. Okay. Layne Johnson could start a race war by wearing the wrong hat. He's so laid back, he makes me look like a fucking control freak. But Layne, seriously, you're not creepy. Your fears of being a creep are as unwarranted as Ken losing his hair. That's just for the Barbies out there. Okay, next to my next note. We're almost done, guys. Keep it up. Give it up for everyone. Okay, so, oh, I can't even read this shit. He's such a bad boss that, yeah, he hired my ass. Just kidding, kind of. But let's get real, though. We love Layne Johnson. He makes white trash sound like a compliment. You know, you really shouldn't judge a book by its Confederate cover. He's such a bad boss. He had to delegate to get someone to delegate his delegation. I don't know. No, but for real, I just want to say, hey, Layne, thank you for everything, and I want to thank all you regulars. Thanks for that weird roast, Sam. I didn't know that we were going to be roasting each other, but I got you at the open mic. And I also thank you, Ron Bloom, for facilitating all of this. And out with the old and in with the new, or the new, I should say. Thank you.
All right, keep it going for Nabu. That was a great job, Nabu, and I'll send you a message in case you forget you did it later. All right. Coming up next, very good friend of the room, a very good friend of all the comedians. Let's give it up for the sensational Mr. Eddie.
Get up for Ron Bloom, everybody. Layne Johnson. Now, I ran some stuff past Ron prior to this, and he said, Layne said, nothing is off the table. So I take these roasts seriously, so nothing is off the table. All right, so now that everyone's silent, and now that everyone's butthole is puckered up, and the emoter wolves of Joker, here we go. Who do we got on the panel here? Sam Barry. Or as I like to say, the less talented and more mentally disturbed Jim Brewer. Sam keeps making note of how he got a haircut, as if that will help folks like his comedy any better. Sam's been experimenting with alt comedy by reading books and pouring milk for audience members while dressing up like Mr. Rogers or a high school science teacher who is confused if he's eventually going to get to a punchline. Or if he's just gearing up to lure children into his parents' basement. I think it's the latter. When he isn't making videos about how he's going to fuck up your Starbucks order, he's practicing forming complete sentences with the amount of pot he's ingested. Sam Barry, everybody. The Naboo. Or when you name your child after being dropped off with Native Americans suffering from fetal alcohol syndrome. What can I say about Naboo that a shrink hasn't said already? I think it's maybe God should start over. Naboo loves to inform folks that she's had several brain surgeries, which may explain why even black people have to clutch their jewelry and cross the street when she approaches them. You're all gonna hate me after this roast. Layne, your roastee, made yet another drunken judgment call by making her the host of Glenwood Open Mic. Which isn't bad if you compare her hosting style to that of a feral Southside cat hunting for rats. The Naboo. Ilongo Golapan. Or what he says before firebombing temples. These temples have Chinese people in them, as China and India have a very torrid past. Yeah, that one's for him, because Ilongo loves to write well-researched and heady comedy. So heady that most folks fall asleep within the first 8 minutes of his setup. That's actually the name of Ilongo's comedy special, So Heady I Fell Asleep.
As a punchline for the finale, for his special, he sets himself on fire. Ilongo Golapan. The less you laugh, the better I'm doing. It's validation. It's gonna get a lot fucking worse. Who do we have over here last? Oh, Matthew Doyle Perez. Why do you keep talking? Matt Doyle Perez looks like he stinks. Matt's beard is so mangy that you can find Naboo living in there from time to time. She's at home there. If you're quiet, you can even hear her say, "Only the shadow knows what lurks under Matt's beard." It's really an amusement park constructed by fleas. He's actually doing comedy to feed them. Right, go, exactly. Matt is one of the biggest supporters of the comedy community scene and quick to provide opinions on how to make your jokes better. I'm of the opinion that he inserts the gerbil into his ass when he's done with his set. Because he's so stiff, folks. He's got to move around. He keeps another gerbil under his hat that writes all of his jokes. Every now and then he checks it. "How you doing, Herb? I think I'm ready with the last draft." Matt Doyle Perez, everybody. Ron Blue. Or what happens when cultural appropriation of black culture goes too far. To his credit, Ron has made an indelible mark as a comedy promoter in the Chicago scene. Ron, how does it feel to promote other comics that will always be funnier than you? How does it feel? It's got to be exhausting. Hey folks, riddle me this. What do you get when a Boston comic moves to Chicago to promote another comic? Still a foiled comedian. Still a foiled comedian. Good, yeah, that's perfect. That sets the tone for what I'm about to fucking do. If I get shot in the parking lot after this, you'll understand why. Our man of the hour, Layne Johnson. Brilliant. Layne Johnson, you might know him from catchphrases such as, "Why am I getting the stink eye from some of you? You're welcome, and fuck you, that was funny." Layne's marketing team is right now developing merch with the help of Daddy Yankee to compose a miniature composite of Layne holding a tall boy of Modelo with a look of confusion on his face the entire time. You might not know this, but Layne actually has a mail order bride. It's not really a relationship. He talks about this a lot. He says it gets in the ways of his career. It's on hold until he gets enough money so that he can avoid cancellation if people find out. They're just broke, folks. They're broke. What can you do? It's too bad, it's too bad they blow their money on an OnlyFans page that supports white on Asian hate crime fetishism. Layne has a neo-Nazi haircut, so it tracks.
Everything's on the table.
To know Layne, folks, is to love Layne. To love Layne is to accept he would rather blow cock at a beach than write better jokes. At least that's what he tells me when my dick's in his mouth and he's drunk, which is all of the time. Layne is a generous soul and has contributed so much time and nurturing to comics in the community. Until those comics wake up to the fact that his opinions don't matter. They never mattered. Seriously, bottom of my heart, I want to wish Layne all the condolences, regarding his loss last week. When we were all secretly hoping that he'd be the one who died. Why are you still here, Layne? Why are you still here? Layne Johnson, everybody, we love him. Layne Johnson.
Mr. Eddie. Wow.
Y'all feeling roasty yet?
All right. Coming up to the stage, our final roaster is known all throughout the city on a lot of security tape at Chuck E. Cheese. No, he's one of the best around. a very good friend of the comedy scene, a very good friend of ours. Let's give it up for Matthew Doyle Perez, MVP, MVP, MVP.
All right, so I smell pretty bad, okay? I stink. All right, I'll start with you, Eddie. We'll have some fun. All right, give it for Mr. Everybody. Clap for Mr. Eddie in here. Clap for the man. The Mr. stands for Mrs. And Eddie is short for Edward McStreamy Pants. Eddie looks like Gonzo from the front and Jada Pinkett Smith from the back. I don't know if you guys noticed about Eddie. He likes to rant and scream on stage. He's very loud, which is good because I always forget he's black. It helps. It helps if you do that. The best way to describe Eddie's comedy is fuck you, no fuck me, no fuck you, no fuck you, fuck me, no fuck you, fuck you, no fuck you, fuck me, and fuck you, and also don't fuck that thing. And that guy's name was Mr. Juice. It's one of his better jokes. Eddie is bisexual. I don't know if he likes men. I just know that he will definitely buy sex. Just once. On that hand. So Eddie has a girlfriend, which is good. Good. I asked Eddie what's his favorite part of his girlfriend, and he says everything. I just love her to death. I was like, that's touched. And I asked his girlfriend what she loved the most about him, and she says when he doesn't have a microphone in his hand and he's sleeping. Eddie's been playing guitar for 30 years. 30 years, right? Yeah, his poor fingers, right? If only his comedy had carpal tunnel, then you'd be funny. All right.
Wow.
Let's switch it on up. Okay, now blue. I got nothing. 3 brain surgeries and all you 4? 4. I like how you're doing 4. They write them themselves sometimes, folks. Or they just do this and that's what it is. I knew comedies came in 3, I just had no clue brain surgeries did too, so that's good. The first time I saw Nabu, I saw her at the Red Room, which is a good comedy show, you guys should go see it. And she was on stage singing a song, and it was a very sad song. And as I'm hearing this, I'm like, man, who hurt you? And then, I actually had a conversation with her, and she told me about brain surgery, and I was like, wait, who fixed you? So, I gotta do this one. I had to Google if Nabu was a real thing. It turns out it is.
N-A-B-U or N-A-B-O-O?
We'll find out. I typed in Nabu, N-A-B-U, and it said Babylonian god of wisdom and agriculture and patron of scribes and scrolls. And I was like, thank God we're not in Babylonian because I don't want advice from that. I do not want advice from that. Ron Bloom, an amazing host. You know, for Ron. Ron's a killer. Oh my God. Ron's from Boston, which is good to know. I always wondered if it was the microphone that made him sound stupid. No, it's just he's from Boston. He's from Boston. Yeah. Good, you can hear. Ron is a wrestling fan, which is good. And he firmly believes wrestling is real. It's not fake. And he'll get into arguments with people about this. But he'll nicely start the argument by saying this. Look, wrestling's not fake. My wife's orgasms, those are fake. Okay? Unless you use a table, ladder, or a chair. Then it's totally fake. Ron is married to a beautiful black woman. And people will say that he has jungle fever, which is not true. He fell in love with who she is as a person. And they've all been together. 20 years. And he's eaten her amazing cooking for 20 years. So side note, he does not have jungle fever. Now he has diabetes, high blood pressure, and Alright. Gotta switch it over to some other people that deserve my humor. Let's see here now. Ilongo.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good.
I liked your set. Ilongo is Indian.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm going with at least. And his family has been in America for like a long time. To quote Alongo correctly, 6 7-Elevens, period. That's how long they've been there. Now, people say Alongo is edgy and he likes to do dark comedy, which is not true at all. I've never heard him once do comedy. This next one's mean. I don't know if I want to do it. All right. Ilongo recently lost his job and started working out more, which is good because now he'll be able to pick up the pieces of his life. and make his daughter proud. That's how that goes. All right, Sam Berry. Give it for Sam. Sam is one of the funniest people I've ever met without punchlines. Yeah. Oh, now you're set? You're not gonna like the next 3. Sam really does, okay, so Sam is like finding himself as a comedian. Right now he's been doing act outs, and he's really good at act outs. My favorite act out is when he's out of time and has to walk off the stage. That's my favorite when you do these amazing act outs. Sam lives at home with his family, which is good. Now here's the thing, he lives at home with his parents, and remember, home is where the heart is, but home is also where Sam masturbates. Right next to his parents masturbating, that's where he masturbates. Alright, so Sam has a big forehead, I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty big. Or as his forehead says, I got a little bit of Sam on me. Now to the main event, that's not worth the ticket price.
Oh, shit.
Layne Johnson. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, bud?
How's it going? I got some jokes about you, and I think a couple of them are kind of mean, so I apologize ahead of
Sorry,
time.
my real friends are texting me. It's way funnier.
Your OnlyFans are texting you? Sydney, his OnlyFans are texting you. You might get on that.
How do you know it's not me?
Okay, well, you just got dumped. Sorry, bitch. That's the best joke of the night. So Layne has a face that screams, Jerry, 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 Jerry. And an accent that says, well, I know that's my cousin, duh, that's how you're on the show. Let's see now. Layne started doing comedy at a place called the Jukebox, which is what they called his mom down south. It's the only vagina in town you have a 2-drink minimum and no heckling, so. That's pretty good, right? I appreciate that. Layne was told by a guy that he is the whitest black guy he knows. What a huge compliment for Layne. And such a huge insult for black people. You know, if Layne was a rapper, his name would be, do you have 50 cents? Layne has a girlfriend, which is, there you go, she's there, she's real.
She's real.
And she loves his comedy. She knows all his jokes. Like every time they have sex, she just looks at him and says, fuck you, that was funny. Let's see. Layne has, he always wears 5 rings. I don't know if you ever noticed, he always has 5 rings on. He has 2 on his pinky, 2 on his ring finger, and 1 around his mouth. It's the weirdest fucking thing I can do. Layne works in sales, which is cool. He looks like the type of guy that sells I'm with stupid shirts while wearing an I'm with stupid shirt. A little bit, right? A little bit. Oh, man. Let's see. Layne looks like Layne looks like you never know if he's going to jail or getting out of jail. But he definitely knows the phrase white power. Do I have another one?
Tell it, brother.
I'll tell brother. I'll leave you with this, because it's true. Layne is very educated. Yeah. Until he talks, then it's completely different. Not my strongest, but that's what I'm gonna go on. Layne, thank you very much for this mic, dude. And one of the cool things about Layne, he's stepping down because he wants to do something really important with his life. Bomb and other open mics. Thank you, I appreciate that, Layne, thank you. MVP! All right. We have come to that time of the night. We are here to honor a man. No, I'm just kidding, it's Layne. All right. So we think of Layne, we think of the words hilarious, clever, so funny, because he'll never say that about another comedian. But without further ado, let's give it up, Mr. Layne Johnson!
Ron, everybody. Ron, yes. Feels like just the most perverted Santa in town. Like, yeah, coming into stockings. I'm going to keep this very short because I want to get to the open mic. I can't wait to hear the new shit you guys have going on and also walk around and ignore it. I'll start off by give yourselves a round of applause for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's true. I don't know, a lot of you probably don't know this, not a big deal. Both my parents died last week. 100% true. Yeah, and dealing with that was more fun than listening to your jokes. You picked the worst lineup in town. It seriously looks like you just swung by a soup kitchen and was like, yo, meet me at Glenwood. There's a can of beef stew in it for you. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Matthew Doyle Perez. God, he does look like he smells. 100% true. Hey, I want to thank you for taking the night off of jacking cars to be with us here tonight. You know what I mean? I know you're missing out on a lot. You know, it's not easy being homeless in this town. So, yeah, I remember Matthew Doyle Perez's first visit to the Glenwood. He came here to get out of the rain. And I'll also never forget the first words he said to me. You know, they were very impactful. Spare some change. So yeah, that was. But no, I'll get off Matthew. I just want to say one more thing. You are so cheap that the bartenders here have a nickname for you. They call you Glass of Water. So, spend some money for once in your life. Longo? Is that how you say it? A Yango or Longo? Elon.